I'm making a healthy veggie pizza today with phyllo pastry. I've got my phyllo right here. I want to keep it covered so that I keep it from drying out while I prepare the pan. And the first thing we want to do is just get some olive oil on the bottom of the baking sheet. Okay, I think this is well oiled here. You want to work a little bit fast with phyllo, especially if you've got an oven on in the kitchen and it's hot. So get this in here. Don't worry about the overhang. We're going to turn that in to make a nice rim at the end. You do want to get the edges brushed because that's what will dry out first. And you also don't have to be painstaking about covering every single inch of this. The oil will spread a little bit as well as the phyllo bakes. This is really fresh, and you know it's fresh when you can do this. And you can crinkle it up like that and straighten it out again, and the sheet basically opens up without any cracks or any holes. I think this was the fourth layer here, and I want to get a little bit of cheese on this layer. What I've got here is just grated celebratory cheese. That's a Greek sheep's milk cheese. It's nice and pungent. You can use any grated cheese on this. A Parmesan obviously would be great. A Romano, anything you like. Just keep it covered. The most important thing is to work a little bit fast. I've got quite a number of layers on the bottom because the vegetable filling is a little bit heavy. And that's kind of a rule. The heavier the filling, the more layers you're going to need on the bottom. And just a couple more, we're almost there. One more, one less on the top, it's not going to make a huge difference. Okay, the last layer. Now I've got to make the pizza rim. You use the overhang for that. You want to get each side in. If there's a lot of overhang, you can fold it in. If there isn't, don't worry about it. It's basically, this is, cosmetic. So I've got my phyllo ready. And of course, the next thing that goes on is celebratory. Here you can be a little bit generous. And then we just want to get all of this peppers layered, a bit of alternating color. Red, green, red, green. You don't have to be so exacting. It's just, that's really a matter of taste and patience, maybe. I think that looks pretty good. Next up, the onions. And you can snuggle them between the slices of peppers. I love onions. We want to get the broccoli on here next. The smaller the pieces, the better. And you can, you don't have to be that painstaking. You can just scatter the broccoli around. The yellow teardrop tomatoes. Do it so that they're scattered evenly. And a Greek touch, the Kalamata olives. The sky is the limit. You could do this with seasonal vegetables, or pretty much anything you want. I want to add a little bit of basil to this. Looking for some nice leaves. And my feta. Just get the Greek feta and the Kalamata olives. Definitely give this, a Greek passport. And then I'm just going to take these beautiful basil leaves strew them over the top. A little bit of olive oil, just mainly for the broccoli. The last thing I have to do is just cut this into serving pieces. You always want to cut your phyllo before it goes into the oven so that it doesn't puff up and become impossible to cut afterwards. And now the other way around. We're almost done. Perfect. This is going into the oven. I've got my oven going at 375 Fahrenheit. You want a hot oven for this, but not so hot that the top layers cook before everything else does on the inside. And this is going to take around 25 minutes to a half hour. You know, every oven is a little bit different. Okay, this has won my New York heart. The question is whether to eat this with a fork and a knife, like an Athenian, or without a fork and a knife, like a New Yorker. Let's cut through it. It breaks apart pretty easily. Okay. Oh, look at that. I think I'm going to do this like a New Yorker, because some habits when it comes to pizza never go away. That proves that maybe the Italians invented it, but phyllo and feta and a whole Greek garden of vegetables is definitely perfect. This is a pizza worth making.